The story of Julius Caesar, the man who marked the destiny of Rome and, with it, the entire world, is steeped in ambition, glory and, above all, mystery. A man whose name resonates in history, whose conquests changed the face of the Roman Empire, but whose death remains an enigma that haunts us to this day. Today, I invite you on a journey to the past, to the shadows that surround his life and, above all, to the dark mysteries of his murder. Imagine Caesar standing in front of the Senate, surrounded by powerful figures, all of them gazing intently at Rome's supreme leader. The story of his rise is marked by incomparable military intelligence, a political astuteness that took him to the top of power. With his campaigns in Gaul, his victories in Egypt, and his absolute dominance, it seemed that fate had promised him eternity. But fate, always unpredictable, had other plans. The conquest of the world, Rome, in the 1st century BC, was a republic that teetered between the freedom of its senators and the hunger for power of its generals. Julius Caesar, a man of noble origins, but without a fortune to support him, rose as a key figure, moving with a political skill that went beyond even the limits of legality. He was a genius in war and a master in manipulating the masses. Each military victory added glory to his name, but also aroused the wrath of those who feared losing their power. How could someone, born into a noble family but without the status of the greatest patricians, get so far? His rise was not just a matter of skill, his ambition was infinite, and many say that in the end, it was that same ambition that doomed him. The mystery of his death, on March 15, 44 BC, a day that would be remembered as the Ides of March, Julius Caesar was assassinated at the hands of those he trusted most, his own friends and allies in the Senate. A fatal blow to the back, and Rome would lose the man who had concentrated the most power in its entire history. But who was behind this plot? What dark mysteries lie behind his death? There are theories that suggest that Caesar's death was a necessary act to save the Roman Republic from tyranny. Others believe that it was simply envy and fear that led his killers to strike the final blow. However, one question remains: who was really behind his death? Some historians believe that an even larger conspiracy existed, that perhaps Caesar was not only assassinated by his enemies, but that his own allies may have been manipulated by even larger forces. The enigma of ambition: Caesar was assassinated, but who really gained from his death? The Republic, or simply a new era of ambition and conspiracy? If Caesar had survived, would he have changed the course of history? His death paved the way for the rise of his adopted son, Octavian, who would later become Emperor Caesar Augustus. But, at the same time, it left Rome in a state of uncertainty, mired in internal struggles for power. The question that lingers in the story is whether, in the end, Caesar's death was the end of his power, or whether, in some way, he became a symbol that continued to dominate the destinies of Rome long after his disappearance. Today, centuries after his death, Caesar's echoes resonate in history, not only as a conqueror, but also as a man who dared to challenge the limits of the possible. His life is full of lessons about power, betrayal, and sacrifice. But more than that, Caesar's story is a reminder that even the greatest of men, those who seem destined for immortality, can fall in the most unexpected ways. And as we reflect on his life and death, perhaps the true lesson of Julius Caesar lies not in his victories or his fall, but in the reflection on the invisible forces that drive men to conquer, to dream and, ultimately, to face the mystery of his own destiny. Does power really corrupt those who attain it, or is power itself marked by a destiny that escapes the control of those who seek it? Was Caesar a victim of his own dream of greatness, or was he simply a man caught in a game much bigger than himself? The story of Julius Caesar lives on, waiting to be understood by those who dare to look beyond the obvious, towards the dark mysteries that still exist. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the story of one of the greatest men in history, and please don't forget to subscribe to your Time Travelers channel. Blessings.